Good evening, my name's Darby. I'm a team member of DWP Corruption, and I will set out my case for you, the public, to view and assess the value of the evidence which is shown. It starts basically in the year 1988, 20 odd years ago, and it progressed from what was a planning scam committed by two solicitors who stole money to buy two properties to stop the properties being used in a civil court action taken out in the High Court of Birmingham Civil Courts. Because the council was involved, Chief Planning Control Officer, Chief Building Control Officer, the case was reported to the Warwickshire Police because I uncovered forged documents, High Court documents, judges' signatures, etc, etc, etc. It's quite formidable. They were committing in 1990, 1992 acts of treason. In 1992, the two solicitors involved, Michael John Archer and Robert Peter Adams, left Argyle's solicitors to distance themselves from Argyle's and open up a company called Archer Adams, a law firm called Archer Adams. When I say they opened it up, all that happened was simply they took Argyle's name down from the offices and put Archer Adams up. In 1992, April 1992, they opened up, and within 2 months, less than 2 months, they started on what was going to be, or what progressed to be, 5 years of a multi-million-pound fraud. They were stealing on average £1 million a year from circa 1992 until 1998, when the solicitor walked into a Warwickshire police station and gave himself up. In the meantime, the Law Society, the OSS, the Office of Supervision of Solicitors that was at the time, the Warwickshire Police kept claiming that I had no evidence. Mike O'Brien MP asked me for the evidence in 1992-93. He was not my MP. He broke strict conventions to get evidence against the police. When I gave him the evidence, he then gave it to the Warwickshire Police, the very people I was accusing of committing the cover-up. Mike O'Brien became involved by association with the Warwickshire Police. He himself received bribe to cover up the crime. One of the defendants in the action, a man called Leslie Brown, wrote to O'Brien in 2000 and told him that he had received stolen money that was laundered through the authorities. O'Brien didn't report it to the Warwickshire Police. The Warwickshire Police maintained that they carried out a thorough investigation. O'Brien claimed there was no evidence to investigate. Having promised to investigate, he relied on the police cover-up to substantiate a defence for himself. In 2000, Michael Archer, the solicitor, sole party that was charged for the £5.4 million fraud, was sentenced to 5 years at Coventry Crown Court. The police still maintain that I had no evidence to substantiate any allegations against the solicitor, having over 5 years stole £5.4 million. At his trial, he said, I only kept £100,000 for myself and I gave away the rest so people would like me. He said that to Judge Richard Cole in Coventry Crown Court, and it was produced. The statement of what he stated was produced in the Birmingham Mail. In 1997, other firms of solicitors, Rutherfords, became involved. They were investigated by the Law Society for committing fraud in house sales. One solicitor in particular, a man called Wiseman, Peter Wiseman, was fined £1,000. But prior to that, the same Peter Wiseman in 1989 forged Law Society sales documents to buy one of the properties that were brought with stolen money, that was stolen from the Amazon account, which was registered the theft took place in 1989. But the theft, with the Warwickshire Police cover-up, they registered the theft as taking place in 1992 to try and conceal some of the evidence that they was using in the Crown Court, namely the murder of a young man, David King, who, when aged 17, got a mortgage from Tamworth Council. He was unemployed, 17-year-old, on a YTS, and he got a mortgage. To cover up any association between Rutherfords, Argyle's and Archer Adams, David King was murdered to stop him adding weight of evidence to my evidence. That solicitor then, when Archer Adams was closed down, took over the intervention. He was only in Archer Adams solicitors designated by the Law Society to look at all the accounts to find out if there was any evidence outstanding that could be used against the corrupt solicitors. In actual fact, he was in there 2 days. He sanitised all the evidence, stole all the evidence and all the remaining money that was in the accounts. Then a firm of solicitors called Gardner Canning took over. To give them the correct name at the time, Garner, Canning and Adams. The Adams piece was the solicitor of the very solicitor Archer Adams. So we've got a solicitor here who is investigating the practice that he was a partner of, designated by the Law Society. Pinsett, Curtis and Biddle were then issued instructions to take out county court proceedings to recover money or to settle a claim against the Home Office against or for a prison officer called Andrew Joseph Brown, who was the murderer of David King, who received £600,000 from the solicitors that the police knew about a year before the trial, but he was never charged. The reason being because he's blackmailing the Warwickshire Police, he's blackmailing the MP Mike O'Brien, who was promoted to the Solicitor General of England and Wales. This is how serious this issue is. The Solicitor General of England and Wales, who has the same power as the Attorney General, who at the time was Peter Goldsmith, the man that sent us to war to Iraq. That gives you some idea of the power this man possesses. He can send this country to war, as we did on the Goldsmith's instructions, on a bad remit. Now, Mike O'Brien, I've stated categorically that he's a thief and a liar. I stated many, many times in the evidence. The evidence is overwhelming. It is their documents, their evidence used against themselves. Mike O'Brien, you are a thief, you are a liar. Prosecute me. Issue legal action on me. Mr. Brown is being sent a copy of this DVD. Please see the evidence. It is unmistakable. It is there for all the world to see. And it will send them to prison for a very long time. I hope you enjoy the evidence and feel obliged if you want to take copies of it. It's easy to access. You just blow it up, access it and have it printed. You'll be amazed. It is horrendous. Acts of treason. People have got knighted. They've used the Queen. They've committed acts of treason against the Queen, and they nominated these thugs, these thieves, these scumbags to go before the Queen, who knighted them. It's horrendous. Thank you for listening.